Well, this is part 2 of the DIY king-size bed frame. If you missed part 1, you can click right over there. So far, we've done the side rails, and we've cut, shaped, and assembled the legs for the footboard. Headboards can be as simple or as complicated as you'd like to make them. Let's take a 2x6, cut it in half on the miter saw. Actually, the measurement is 47 and 15/16 if you happen to have one that measures exactly 96 inches. Sometimes they can come in a little shorter or longer, so just make sure. Now I'll make a series of marks up the sides of those boards. The first mark will determine how high your mattress will ultimately be. Personal preference there. Obviously, if you have a pillow top and you're a shorter person, that's going to be a different measurement for you. And then I'll draw an arc, and that'll be the shape I want the headboard to take on. And then I'll reduce some of the profile of the legs and angle the top back. Obviously, there's no magic bullet here. It's just what feels right to you, so be creative. I'll cut a half lap joint on the table saw the same way you saw me do in part 1 of this project. Now that that's done, I'll clamp the piece to the workstation and work that jigsaw. That actually looks pretty good, so I'll skip the drill press drum and smooth it with some light hand sanding. Some 120 grit wrapped around a sanding sponge works pretty well. All right, now I'll mark out for the dado. This is how I'll be joining the legs to the centerpiece. Speaking of said centerpiece, here it is. Let's trim it to length. Yes, I always keep a roll of blue tape in the shop for woodworking and my paper mache Smurf hobby. You know what? Just ignore that last statement. Now we're almost done. There's one final piece to the headboard. That's the lower stretcher. We'll cut that on the miter saw now. Give everything a light sanding and round over the edges. Now we are technically ready to start assembly of the headboard and footboard, but I ain't gonna. Because I've decided to use contrasting stains, I'm actually going to stain each component before assembling them. I like to do one light coat of stain. That generally raises the grain, and then a light sand with 220 grit knocks it back down. Then I'll come back with a second coat till I get the color that I want. Keep in mind, we are not dealing with a shop project here. You want this to be something that you and your family are going to enjoy and be proud of for years to come. So take some time and do this part right. It took me just shy of a week to apply all the coats of stain, the sanding, the poly, and I'll admit, it'll test your patience, but at the end of it, I think you'll be better for it. All right, it's time for assembly. Now this part goes quick, so you ready? Here we go. Footboard first, attach the legs to the stretcher. That's all there is for the footboard, so set that aside and start on the headboard. Some glue in the dados. One down, one to go, I think. I'd have to use my fingers. That's a tight fit, and that's exactly what you want. Almost there. Now let's flip this over, lay down some spacers, and you'll want to think about some cloth as well because you don't want to scratch the front of the centerpiece. Because I don't have clamps that'll span the distance from one side to the other, this is the one spot that I'll use pocket holes to make sure everything comes together nice and tight. These headboards can be heavy, especially the king-sized ones, so use the buddy system if you have to. And that's it. All the pieces are assembled, so it's time to put the whole thing together. To put everything together, I connected the side rails to the footboard first. They just slide down into their spot into the corners of the footboard. Sort of like so. Then you could connect them with screws from the inside, perhaps some pocket holes if you felt so inclined. The other side gets knocked in with a mallet, and the same thing here. Simple screws, pocket holes, or threaded inserts. One last thing, don't forget your cross brace mattress supports. Those are a simple matter of taking your final cross measurements, cutting to length, and adding a T-leg in the center. SimplyEasyDIY.com. I'll have a cut list, measurements, and dimensions. Hey, thanks for watching. Subscribe if you haven't. Check me out on Facebook and Pinterest. If you like this video, here's a couple more you'll like as well. Until then.